So tonight's video was supposed to be a review video that I was going to do on several things that I bought recently and was going to review them for you, including my toilet paper right here. But my night got hijacked. So I ended up having to take Bruce into the vet, into urgent care even, because my vet was closed because I think he has a UTI and he's fine. They did end up giving him some antibiotics and some pain medicine. So my son actually said, hey, you should capitalize on that and do a video about taking your cat into the vet. So that's what we're going to do. Also, their water was making a funky sound because it needs to be cleaned. So I'm going to clean their fountain while we talk. So at around 5 tonight, we started noticing that Bruce was in the cat box like all the time. Like typically he'll get in there, but he'll at least let it run before he messes with it. But he was literally getting back in there just as soon as it stopped. It was only getting through part of its cleaning cycle before he was back in it again. So he was also getting in it about every 3 minutes or so. So that's what our first clue was. Our second clue also was that I did the floors tonight and I had my rugs piled up and he tried to squat on them, and he is very good about using his litter box. And so I went ahead and took him into urgent care because I know I'm working the next 3 nights. So I did add ice to their water, and I thought I would spare you having to listen to that. It does a couple of things. One, it's just fun. Gives them a little bit of a treat. They get to have some ice water. Secondly, it helps us keep our ice maker clean because we don't use a ton of ice, and so it keeps it from just building up in there and being gross. So I'm going to add some cold water to this guy. Make sure that you put your pump down in there before you start this process, or you're just going to end up taking it all apart, taking all the ice out and getting it adjusted. Finally got it. There's your straw. And then it goes down that hole onto your filter right there. Okay. And it is all back together, almost. I just have to put that guy on there, and then their filter's put back together. We'll move it over to their spot, get it plugged back in. And there it is. There's their water fountain, all done up and ready to go. Bruce is already checking it out, which is good, because one of the things that they need is good hydration with the UTI. I did feed them some wet food. That's supposed to help as well. But really it comes down to water. Miss Izzy getting a drink. So cats do like running water. I think it feels fresher to them. This is a mostly stainless steel fountain. So that is good to help prevent bacteria growth, although it does have a couple plastic pieces, including the pump and the straw. But it is super easy to clean. The filters are not very expensive. I'll put a link to them down below too. Hey guys, so I wanted to give some signs and symptoms of UTIs, not only in cats, but also this kind of correlates with humans as well. So for cats anyway, And this is just stuff that I Googled and wrote down, signs and symptoms. So frequent litter box use with little to no urine production. And I did notice that. I started writing down like the times that he was in the litter box. And it was like 3 to 4 minutes apart. And sometimes it was sooner, like he wasn't even letting the box do its whole cycle. It would get like halfway through the cycle and he was stopping it by interrupting the sensors and getting in even when there was no litter in there. Crying or howling while urinating. Now, he didn't do that, but that was one of the questions that the vet did ask me. I assume that goes right along with the burning, like humans experience when we have a UTI, and the frequency, feeling like that you have to pee, and then you go in there and you only get like a couple of drops or nothing at all. And then peeing outside the litter box. And this one I kind of watched out for because I had done the floors tonight, and usually I pick up all the rugs and shake them out, and then I go around and vacuum. Well, usually I take my rugs and I put them in the shower. There comes Izzy girl. Bruce is over here. I put him in the shower, and then I did catch him trying to squat on them, and that's very unusual for our cats. Our cats always use the litter box unless there's a reason that they can't. Like one time we went on a couple-day trip, and we came home, and the litter box was stuck halfway through, and the litter wasn't in there, and they did mess on the rug that time. But for the most part, they 100% of the time use their litter box. So urinary tract infections are caused by bacteria that get into the urinary tract, made worse for cats with low hydration, which I guess cats are prone to dehydration anyway. A lot of it is they just don't drink enough, but also we feed them dry cat food, which I guess I didn't think about. I've always used wet food as kind of like a treat. But it is actually good for cats because it provides them with some hydration. My cats don't really eat wet food very well. They lick the gravy off of it and leave all the meat. They don't like the pate because it's just all meat and they won't eat it. So I went to using the little cups of, I think it's Meow Mix, but they just lick all the gravy off the meat and leave the meat. Stress. They said that for cats, UTIs can be made worse with stress. I got my notes over here, so I keep looking down. Crystals in the bladder that cause stones caused by diabetes. They said that male cats have a narrower urethra, and so they are more prone to obstructions, which is a medical emergency. It can cause death in 24 to 48 hours, which is really scary to me. Being overweight, because they're not grooming themselves as well. A dirty litter box, which their litter box is automatic, so it's always clean. So the treatment for this is antibiotics, just like it is in people. Pain medicine. So they gave him a shot that is a 2-week antibiotic, and then they gave him a shot that's a pain medicine and inflammation reducer that's good for 24 hours. And they sent me home with 3 pills that I need to give him 1 a day for the next 3 days starting tomorrow. And then lifestyle changes in order to prevent a UTI. So what they recommended was boost hydration. All of them have said get a cat fountain, which they have. So cats like running water. So if you have a cat who is developing, kidney stones or bladder stones, get a fountain and see if that increases their hydration. Wet food, a clean litter box, decrease in stress. They mentioned safe spaces that your cat just feels safe in, and routine. Cats thrive on routine. Provide stimulation in their environment so that they have toys to play with and perches to sit on. Reduces their stress. There is a urinary diet. I didn't look too much into that. They didn't recommend that for Bruce, but I think that there is a food that helps reduce crystals or the formation of crystals. regular checkups, which they go in for their shots and they're good. Maintaining a healthy weight, that is one that we've been very conscious of with our cats. With their automatic feeder, we don't want them getting overweight. It's not good for them in so many different ways, but including this one. They just can't groom themselves as well. And then they said that if you have a long-haired cat who has trouble grooming, to have the hair clipped around their urinary area, and that will help. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope that you learned something. I learned a few things this evening. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, hit that bell, and we will see you next time. Hey everybody, I just wanted to give a quick update on Bruce. He's doing much better. He's not using the litter box near as much. He finished his 3 days of pain and inflammation medication. Did well with that. Seems to kind of be back to his normal self. Izzy, for some reason, as soon as I brought him home, and granted we were only gone like an hour or so, I got him back home and she just took to not wanting to be around him and hissing at him and just generally being grouchy with him. And this did last for a few days, and it seems like they're finally back to normal. When I got home from work this morning, they were actually running around the house playing together. But that's been the first since Friday. But he's doing much better. I expect we're not going to have any more problems. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.